Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These are not watch reviews, they're just quick wristwatch check of the day with an aftermarket strap of choice, usually. And anyways, today I am on the Nivada Grenchen. Um, this is their Depthmaster, and this is a special limited edition that's in collaboration with Revolution. Yeah, it's called the No Barracuda version. And you might have seen me doing an unboxing and maybe another video or two earlier about this. But anyways, yeah, it's cool. Pretty much blacked out version of the Depthmaster. It's got I think the lume color on this is particular to this model. I want to say the ones that are on the other ones might be a little bit more saturated, maybe a little bit warmer, but this is definitely um, a unique version of the Depthmaster. It has the what they call the Pac-Man dial, because the say the 9 and the 6 kind of look like a Pac-Man, and I guess in some ways the 3 kind of looks like a ghost from the Pac-Man game as well. And plus, if you get the version that has this kind of yellowish color, it makes it even more so look more like that. But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool stealthy version, but it has just enough pop to it. But it's not like overly high contrast and like super yellow. It's pretty subtle. It's actually, I guess this color is what I've been trying to describe as maybe a buttercream yellow. It's like it's very light. It sometimes looks almost a little bit tan or beiges, or there's a little bit of a warmer creamy color to it depending on how I look at it. But for the most part, it looks kind of like a light yellow to my eyes. And I've been looking for something to pair this with, and what I got here today is a StrapHabit FKM rubber. This is their slim ridge model. The most notable difference is right up in this area by the lugs. There's like this kind of extra detail that goes across this way, horizontally, and then there's a ridge or something that goes down, the length of it. And they do have one that's just called I think the ridge. It's just a regular. It's not slim ridge. It's a ridge, and I don't know if it's any thicker or slimmer, but it doesn't have this extra detail up here. It's just got uh, the vertical or this ridge, I guess, going down the length of the strap instead. But I like this version just because it has that extra detail. And the other thing is that the strap sort of reminds me of a little bit like how Panerai does their rubber straps. And for this and for the design of this watch, you have to admit, looking at it, it might be a little harder because it's blacked out. But if you look at the case profile from the top and the way the lugs come off of it, and especially on the sides, it really has a very Panerai look to it. And like not a radial mirror, but the luminor. I would say because the radial mirror has like has a more of a wire lug design, I believe, and the luminor has these I don't know, straight lugs that come right off of it. And so yeah, definitely got that look. But and I like the Panerai look, but the one thing is that that always held me back is the size for a lot of them. And I know in general, if you're going to get a Panerai, you probably should just go with a little bit larger size than you would maybe normally want to go with, just because Panerais are meant to be worn traditionally as like a larger watch, and they do look good like that. But two things: one, I'm not sure if I want to commit to that large of a watch. Secondly, Panerais are not exactly inexpensive too, although you supposedly can get them on the secondhand market for a pretty decent discount. They just don't seem to hold their value as much. But then there's also the fear of there's actually some pretty good, or is it pretty bad? Maybe it's bad that they're pretty good copies or counterfeits of Panerai watches, so you got to watch out for that. So if you want to avoid that, you gotta go to an authorized dealer, or at least somebody that you can trust that has secondhand Panerai, and you know, just make sure you get that. But anyways, let me get my sleeve out of the way real quickly. And yeah, this is pretty cool. I believe this is 39 millimeters, and the case thickness is like, I think 13 or 13 and a half, but it really works compact and slim. As you can see, lug to lug isn't all that long, and all this for a watch that's basically 500 meters of water resistance in this size. That's pretty good. And actually, you know what? Hang on a second. I had to correct myself. I don't know why I forgot. Yes, Depthmaster. It's actually 1,000 meters. I'm thinking of, I've been looking at another watch that has 500 meters of water resistance. So I think that's what was stuck in my head. But yes, that's what's so amazing about this, is that 1,000 meters at this size. My wrist is about 7 inches, just under that. And you can get an idea of how big, or rather small, compact this watch is for 1,000 meter watch, you know, water resistant watch here. Pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, again, that's not a review, but then I like to throw in some of my thoughts, fun facts, or whatever, at the time of recording, just to get them in. It's not just about the straps. But going to the strap, this is again a StrapHabit strap. They're FKM Slim Ridge design. They have several colors, and I've been looking for a good, I think this will look good in black and yellow, but a lot of the yellows are very very bright and saturated, and it could go okay with this, but I wanted something with a closer match. Sorry about the exposure, I'm trying to lock it down. And I was looking online, and I said, you know what, this one in yellow looks actually pretty, you know, desaturated, and might actually work pretty good with this watch. And what do you think? I think it looks like a pretty darn good match. It's not perfect. It's still not quite as pale as the yellowish color, I would say, that's in the lume. But I think overall, from a distance, it works pretty well. And I kind of dig that. You know, it doesn't have to be like a bright yellow against a black. It's still very contrasty, and it just, I think it all looks good. And although this does come with a brown leather strap, which actually works surprisingly well with this, and it was on, also it comes with a black, I would say, grains of rice bracelet. I know people a lot of times say beads of rice, but I think rice don't really come in beads as much as they are, I would consider rice as grains, but you get the idea. It looks all blacked out, you know, full metal, and it's all black DLC coated, very stealthy, and that's cool. But to be honest, this style watch works best, I believe, at least on a two-piece like rubber strap. It could probably do well on a NATO or some sort of pass-through style strap. But when I saw this yellow, and I said, you know what, I think this will work great with it, and I think it does. It just really matches. It brings out the yellowish colors in the dial, makes it pop. It doesn't make it look too stealthy anymore, which is I kind of prefer. If it looks too stealthy, it kind of just things can sort of just disappear. And so that's why I don't go for many all black watches, to be honest. And the other thing is getting hardware to match, because I do like to have the buckle or clasp, whatever, on a strap. If it's on a black you know, watch, it should match that. I feel weird when it's off and it's silver, and vice versa. If you have a silver watch and you put a black, you know, something with black hardware on, that just doesn't work for me personally. I like to have it all match. It looks more cohesive. But this did not come with that black buckle here. I had to buy that separately. It's also from StrapHabit. They have a couple of buckle options, but I also had to make sure that I guess it's the pin, is it the tang, that runs through the holes, right? It's the same size as the one that this strap originally came with, and a lot of the ones that they offer they're all blacked out. Basically, the pin or the tang is about a little bit bigger. They come in at 3 millimeters for their divers, and it's kind of weird that this one in particular, on the stainless steel one, as you can imagine. Actually, this is the one I'm using back on there, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Yeah, the thing is actually 2 millimeters, so I had to make sure I had something that fit a 2 millimeter pin or tang that runs through those holes, and so that's what I got. And the other thing too, because of the nature of the holes, the way they're punched through, and the thickness of the rubber, that tang or that pin that goes through has a certain bend or curve to it. It's kind of a S shape, right? And so that it can go through it without making the when it goes through, it doesn't make the rubber kind of distort or bow out or just flex kind of funny, because if it's too straight of a pin or tang inside there, you start to see it stress the hole a bit, or it just won't sit and run through perfectly like smooth looking. It looks like it'll have like a little bit of a weird hump or kink in it, I guess. And so the one that this buckle that originally came with was a bit straighter than the one that the strap came with. The strap has more of a flowy, more curvy S to it, and it goes through better. So I ended up swapping out, keeping the original tang or pin that goes through here, and mixing it with the black buckle here, this piece, so that this can just flow through it a lot better. And also, another thing that determines in how well that strap flows through. I don't have examples here right now. I'll probably maybe do a separate video on that. I'm doing this one-handed also, so I can't really show you, but if you can imagine, as I'm trying to describe already, the buckle shape itself should have a certain curvature to it. It should just kind of curve a little bit more too, especially if the strap is going on has a particular thickness or rigidness. And if it's very straight, it could also affect how well it sits on there. It can maybe start to stick out, if you can imagine. But anyways, I'm talking a lot of technical terms with a lot of imagery, like the actual other hardware pieces to show you, demonstrate what I'm talking about. But trust me, I put a lot of thought into making sure that the black buckle that I got works with the pin or tang that goes through it, and so that it all will actually work and hold down decently, and it seems to. So yeah, it is silver and this and mash, but I don't think it's that far off. I mean, for the most part, mostly you see the black part of it. And additionally, on this watch, you look at the bottom of the case here, the case back is not black, it's stainless steel or silver. So there's that little bit of kind of tie-in that sense. There's a mix. Could I have gone with a silver buckle? I probably could have, but I didn't want to. I would prefer black, yellow, black for the most part, all the way around the wrist, just for, again, a more cohesive color scheme and look. And so there we go. Wears pretty great. It's comfortable. This watch has actually been pretty accurate too. It's running on a, forget the exact caliber, but it is a soap rod movement, if I'm not mistaken. And no, it's not the same one as what's in a Serica 5303, at least what they were using before, which was a Newton movement. The newest Serica 5303s that you might have seen announced, they might be they are chronometer certified, and so they're COSC, but they also changed the movement to a different soap rod movement. I forget what it is, but it's one that's been around for a while, I believe, and it doesn't have that weird crown issue. And again, this doesn't either. It's not even. This might be the same soap rod movement as that newest one, but it's not chronometer. But whatever. Talking about the Depthmaster, very cool watch. I definitely prefer this funky Pac-Man dial over the other style that has like the I forget the numbers, but they have some Arabic numbers going around. I think 2, 4, 6, all the even numbers perhaps. It has a kind of off the top of my head, like a Glashute original, like the their dive watch, if you know what I'm talking about, I think Walbrook, I think that's the other micro brand that I'm thinking about. They do a similar style that sort of mimics that look too. It looks all right. I think this one is a little bit more fun and more unique. It doesn't follow anything that's been done before, and I think overall, I think it works better. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and yep, see you next time.